I enjoyed wrestling. Just the amateur sport part of it was where I developed my love for wrestling.
Did you go in high school?
In high school, I wrestled. Yeah, through junior high and high school as well.
Okay, what was the training like?
I remember 6-mile runs, and there's an interesting story. Next to our apartment house, we lived there as well. There was a field, and eventually my dad built a ring out in the field and put a shed around it, and that's where I worked out. Prior to that, we used old U-Haul mats out in the grass, and then back in those days, I'm thinking this is probably 62 or 60, something like that. On the weekends, my dad would offer a quarter to the neighborhood kids to come and work out with me. Well, the neighborhood I grew up in West Tampa was a relatively rough neighborhood. It was a good neighborhood, but it was a rough neighborhood. And a quarter back then would buy a pack of cigarettes and a Coke. So on Saturdays, word got out that you could come and make a quarter, and if you beat me, you could make 50 cents. So that's like a couple packs of smokes and a Coke, you know.
That's good incentive there.
Yeah, so on Saturday morning, around this field would be lined up with, 20, 30 kids to come and work out, and I would do one after the other, one after the other, one after the other, every Saturday. My dad, I must say, only paid the 50 cents one time.
That's pretty good then.
So that was my training.
Right.
That's how I trained. I trained like crazy.
Wrestling was a lot different back then, so.
Yeah, and with the amateur, basically the same, as far as the amateur rules. But
now, how did your first match? How did that come on?
Pro match?
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Did you work like setting up the ring and everything at the shows?
I did that because at the time. As we moved forward, my dad passed away. He was a policeman for Tampa Police Department. Passed away when I was 12. And then years later, my mom married Ronnie. And we'd go up to Canada and go fishing. Well, Larry Kazaboski was the promoter up there. So I'd, get tired of fishing all the time. So I'd, go with him on the road. He had a territory up in North Bay. And I'd put up the ring, take tickets, take the ring down, do whatever that I needed to do to be not only around the business to watch. So I guess age-wise now I'm probably like 15, when this all occurred. So I did that. I did put up the ring and all that. But then when I was 17, I got a break in Tucson, Arizona for a promoter called Ernie Mohammed. And went out there and was a manager with Terry Garvin. And worked as a manager for about a year out in Tucson, and then from Tucson went over to Mobile, Alabama, still as a manager, because at the time I was pretty small.